His comebacks won't last forever, and it's not something you can really rely on the longer the split goes, especially when teams get better at closing out and they make less mistakes.
We are now just going to get to the start of things and see what FNATIC wants to bring to the table. Now, after the Mundo jungle performance we got in the previous game, I would not mind seeing more Mundo jungle. Boss, how has the solo queue experience been against that champion?
I actually never played against him jungle, but I have played against him a bunch of times top lane. And that champ, probably the strongest tank in the game right now, in my opinion.
Has a lot of good kit, kind of stick on the AD carry if he can land the slows, and has the healing, of course, as well. So quite beefy indeed. Doesn't have as much engage, but we'll have to keep our eyes onto it because Whippo is not a shy person when it comes to innovation. When it comes to new champions, new stuff, patch changes, he's always the first one to pick it up. So maybe we'll see a first big Mundo, and it probably will go towards the jungle, I'd say.
What is his Trundle ban? Is that targeted towards Zanzar, or what are we thinking?
That is targeted towards Zanzar. He's a very notorious Trundle player in the LEC. I think Zanzar are kind of a player that struggles a little bit, I think, in the current meta. But he's found his way. He's more of like a Skarner tank Trundle player. And in a carry jungle meta, doesn't fit in, but he's found his style.
He draws bans, so...
Draws bans.
Look, if you're drawing bans, you must be doing something right. And at the end of the day, even if I'm not the biggest fan of Trundle jungle, he's always a guy that makes it work. That said, it is a Viego locked in, traded for a Xin Zhao and a Tristana. FNATIC taking their time debating what the option should be here for their second pick.
Yeah, Xin Zhao, very powerful jungler, and obviously this Viego can kind of flex the 3 roles, I'd say more towards top jungle, so they still have the option to just keep that flex alive until 4-5 and pick full bot lane here if they want to. Alternatively, can go for something like a solo lane. There's an Alistar lock-in immediately for Hylissang. Blind pick Alistar into Tristana. Maybe we'll see a Braum on 3 here to match it if they go for the Kai'Sa Alistar. A little bit dangerous, especially seeing as you can get counterpicked in the support, but does give you that solidified engage, and it's a Hylissang classic.
And certainly if anyone is going to understand a good death bouse, it is going to be Hylissang. Man is the mid-max king. More often better than worse this split, something we do have to give him credit for. He has been having a phenomenal split so far.
Ooh, Sylas. Now that makes a lot of sense, right? You can take away the Alistar ult. Sylas ult and Alistar ult is very, very scary. Running into your team with a huge damage reduction while also one-shotting your backline. So, can remove CC. Big pickup there from MagiFelix, who actually backdoored Misfits with it. So, no stranger to that champion at all. And now he'll have mid-bans to invest already, now that Irelia's taken off the board.
Now, what are we thinking here for mid lane for Niski?
It's a hard option. I mean, you're up against the Sylas. There's a lot of potential things to come in. Niski himself has been playing pretty well recently, so normally I would be like, hey, something a little bit more defensive, but I feel like this man, if anyone's going to pop off in this game, I feel like Niski has been Mr. Reliable for the side of FNATIC. Yeah,
definitely. I think things like AD mids do really well in Sylas. You know, something like a Lucian could do perfectly fine. Maybe Astralis want to ban that away, and then for FNATIC, I think taking away Braum makes a lot of sense. I think the bot matchup, Kai'Sa Alistar, which is kind of Braum is a bit struggling, I'd say, but no, they're just going to opt out of it. They're going to take away the Renekton. So,
hovering Nidalee when they have Xin Zhao.
Yeah, the Renekton ban is just interesting. I wonder if they're just trying to shut down some kind of combo from the side of FNATIC. But now, Astralis, do you pick your support here and save counter pick for top? I think that's probably what you're going to go for. And it's going to be a Taric for Promiscue. So not going to go for the Braum for lane. Going to go for more of a team fight orientated champion in terms of just when the enemy team engages. You just press R, and Hylissang was the same man to do that. I believe he's the only Taric player we have in the league.
Taric so far. Slowly rising in popularity overall. A champion that in general we keep our eyes on 3 games before this game, so has been picked up a few times. Not very successful. Hylissang the only successful Taric so far, and we'll see if that changes today with Promiscue getting his hands on the champion. But we wanted to know what Niski was going to bring to the table, and Cassio is the answer. That's one I have not seen in a long time.
My personal take, Cassio, the hardest champion in League of Legends to play, to learn and master. You need mechanics of a god to play the champion.
There's a lot of min-maxing on Cassio. You know, you have to hit Qs to get the E damage. You miss the Q, you have no kit. And you also have to dodge away from spells because you're very immobile. The ultimate's like a mind game of dodging away on the enemy team side, so making sure you time that perfectly is great. Or it's very important at least. But we're out going to see the Viego go jungle. Set's going to go top lane here, and that's going to be a last pick Mundo for White Knight in the top side, matching it into the Set. So we've got a bit of a sort of wet noodle fight there in the top side. Set obviously should have the push. But both these teams, a lot of team fight. A lot of engage on the side of FNATIC and DPS follow-up. and then a lot of counter engage and things like the Sylas taking the Alistar ult, the Xin Zhao jumping in on the side of Astralis.
And frankly, that's exactly what you want to see from FNATIC. When they've been winning, they've been so incredibly scrappy in the early game. That said, Boss, I'd love to get your take on the top lane matchup where it's the Boss, literally in this case, versus Dr. Mundo. How do you feel about this matchup in general? Who do you think should have the edge?
Right. I saw the Wunder game when Wunder played the Mundo, and I don't remember who played the set, but basically Wunder embarrassed his opponent and started laughing in the middle of the game just because he gapped so hard. So I don't know if that's like a winning matchup but I do believe White Knight has the upper edge, but then Adam has been proven again and again that he can do stuff, so...
Yeah, Adam's like that reliable engager for FNATIC. We'll have to keep our eyes on that top matchup. I think the set very difficult into a full tank, obviously, because you don't have that % HP damage unless you opt in for an itemization to do so, and then you lose the kind of tankiness that you need for the fight, so your Kai'Sa can follow up. But a lot of scrappiness on these champions. We got a lot of melee champions. It's a meta classic.
And it's time for FNATIC versus Astralis. Game 4 of the day. Let's get it started. Oh, Zoom is the corporate Mundo, and all 4 of his friends.
Got a little bit of a level 1 here, just trying to control the bot lane brush. Obviously, that second brush gives the melee... If you have a melee support matchup or a range into melee support, that second brush can be really important when it comes to the lane phase itself. But Astralis are not going to stop there. Just jumping in. There's no ward, but they don't know that, so they're just going to assume that it's warded because no one's standing there. Would make sense. It's not a very good idea to go for that risk when the enemy team has things like, an Alistar that you could face check.
And we heard earlier today, Boss, you were talking about it. When you're the team that's not necessarily favorited in the games, a lot of time these more creative level 1s can do a lot to get early advantages to throw the opposing team off.
Yeah. I mean, I think something more interesting is Mr. Yeskla and Promise Q have matching color on their skin. Both went for green chroma. That's pretty cute.
Okay, yeah, I like that a lot as well. I think Zanzor and Magifelix have purple matching as well.
When that kind of synergy is important, and I don't want to say, that we have a conclusive answer as to why Jessica's DPM is so high now, but matching skins, Kadril, could be a part of the equation that allows this man to top the charts when he and his support are so perfectly in sync.
Could be. It could be, it could give a little bit of a hidden damage buff, you never know, but I think Jessica has been one of the standout performances in Astralis, not so much in lane phase or anything like this, but just in pure team fights. The damage is obviously inflated by playing poke champions like Ezreal, but if you look at the context of their games itself, Jessica's the one dishing out the most damage in the fights. His positioning's been pretty good, Aphelios, things like Tristana and Ezreal specifically. Great team fighting, and I think that's what you need, just reliable team fighting, especially when your team's losing the game. The fact that you can win these fights is just impressive in itself.
And regardless of the raw damage numbers, the damage share showing us that he is often the biggest carry threat on this team, at least when it comes to team fighting. It makes sense. Has the opportunity potentially to do so in this matchup on the Tristana. That said, checking in on the top side, Adam seems to be pretty comfortable in this lane matchup, given that he started Cole.
Cool start, yeah.
So what do you think of that cool start, just to help him with the scaling, because maybe he knows he's going to win the lane phase anyway?
Yeah, apparently, that is very brave. It's going to have an earlier, I guess, gold spike in the mid game, which might come in handy.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to keep our eyes on that, but for now it looks like the Mundo can't really trade with the set as expected. I mean, set in the early stages in a melee matchup is pretty much, untradeable into, unless you're something like a Fiora level 3. Maybe you can W some kind of spell and then look for an all-in. But for now, set has the push, and that should help out FNATIC in terms of information. Adam going to go for actually a cheater recall here on the third wave, but I think White Knight with the ward should be able to stop him. And both junglers, interesting pathing towards the bot side, so this bot crab is going to be the next point of contest. Whippo's going to be there first, and he has Smite. Zanzara is not too far behind him, but it looks like from the minimap, the FNATIC have the push in mid and bot, so they should be able to be first to answer.
Priority in lanes. Oh, goes in.
There's a little bit of trade there. It's not going to be fired back. Full stacks. Not going to be able to proc by Hylissang. Would have loved to land that empowered auto. But FNATIC now backing away. Priority in the bot lane does mean, as called out there, that Whippo's going to be able to grab that Scrab. Scrab. That's the Scrab. The Crab. That's the one I was looking for.
Gonna be double Scrab here.
Double?
Looks like it.
It's going to be a double Scrab. Oh, all in bots. Hylissang.
Big flash.
Good reaction speed there. Promise Q trying to land up the timing perfectly, but Hylissang was ready with the flash. Adam with the pull back. Good damage, good follow-up, and there he goes.
Huge play from FNATIC. Not only is it mechanics, but it's the punish as well. Hylissang predicts Promise Q's flash, flashes away from the stun, and then Adam's already TPing in the second the flash is committed. Really good execution there. I don't think Adam will lose too much in the top lane, but there's going to be a 2v2 in mid.
Felix stun. Stun going to come over the wall, and Iski instantly going to try and turn this one. Easy, quick kill pickup. FNATIC already off to an incredible start. The leap in from Bwipo. He's got the second E-cast if he wants it. The minions tries to get tricky with the smite to land it, but Zanzara with the clean side step.
Observers, if we could look towards top wave now, I think it's just crashing. White Knight should be able to catch it, but he's actually going to TP behind them, so there could be another fight. It's going to be a 3v3. Bwipo has no flash. It's double TP committed.
Zanzara gets taken out. Oh, the Viego's going to be powerful in this one. If he can keep getting resets, he's going to start to take off, but Bwipo's going to get burned down, but no, he's going to turn right back in. LEC on the way in. Bwipo will not die. My God, it's an absolute slaughter.
No way.
No flash on Promiscu. I think it's going to be a quadra kill. He should have to E up soon. The Q misses. Whoa. Can he get him? Niski picks him up with the Q. 6 kills in 5 minutes for FNATIC. Astralis 3,000 gold behind. Wow.
Wow. All right. Boss, you got to break this one down.
Yeah, I mean,
this is a disaster. What happened here?
It's just a slap in the face, really, from Promiscu here. He died twice within 1 minute. And then, of course, unfortunate for MagiFelix, he barely got the kill on Bwipo. And once Bwipo gets the first kill, he keeps getting resets. And that's a game changer.
Yeah, and I think if you just watch that there again, I think Zanzara is just committing way too early. He's flashing in when his team is just finishing the TPs. They're a little bit away. I think waiting 2 or 3 seconds there could have changed the entire fight, because him going in early means he dies, means Bwipo gets the actual Xin Zhao, and then he manages to just survive through the damage and gets a second reset onto the Sylas. So misplay there from Zanzara, I have to say, but really good capitalization there from FNATIC to punish them. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, the only person that Bwipo is not beating right now is that dog.
Okay.
He is an absolute monster on the Rift. MagiFelix is living a nightmare. I'm going to be honest.
3,000.
I'm not as good at solo queue as the two of you are, but this is where I would normally say it to myself and not type it in all chat because I'm a good person.
Sure,
it's
man.
doomed.
It's doomed. That's a classic. But now MagiFelix has no flash. Adam does. If he wants to gap close it, he can. Niski has the flash to follow up. Zanzara is behind it, but Bwipo's also there. MagiFelix just going to dash away. And Adam, he's losing a lot of creeps for this, I think. He lost a lot of creeps for the TP down towards bot, but he's just roaming around to try and get his team ahead.
Yeah. And right now, FNATIC absolutely taking off. Remember, FNATIC right now tied in first, neck and neck. Now, we're tied in first at the start of the day. I should say Rogue are now technically ahead of them, but if they win here, they will tie it up again, and you can see why. FNATIC's incredibly dominant early game. Slightly different than the kind of early game that Rogue brings to the table, but certainly just as explosive.
This is the first time I've seen a 700 goal shutdown in 7 minutes. What?
True. 4-0-1 on the Viego, level 6. He's just so far ahead compared to Zanzara, and now you have to just kind of wonder for Astralis. What's the play? I mean, the enemy jungle's so far ahead, he can match every single lane. Mid lane's just pushing non-stop. MagiFelix has no flash to respond. Bot lane keeps pushing and moving towards mid. Everything's kind of fallen apart for them at this point, and there's really not much they can do other than go towards the top lane.
MagiFelix hovering around, can try to take an ultimate away. It's going to be difficult, but as mentioned, going towards the top side of the map, White Knight slowly but surely running Adam down. By a bit more time with the shield if he wants to, but Adam waiting on all those cooldowns. Good sidestep on the wind becomes lightning, means he can walk away from that one.
Yeah, but FNATIC's just zoning away MagiFelix from his tier 1. He's just forced back to tier 2 already, so good play from Astralis to get the flash out. Adam's going to have the base, and maybe using White Knight's pressure top to translate into mid can help out the map. But still, FNATIC so far ahead in its early stages, and I think that if you look at Astralis, their early games are poor, I have to say. And you can see that they're struggling in these early games. But look, I mean, this is a small exception in a way because it's 7 minutes in and you're already like 3,000 or 4,000 gold down. But just in essence, the fact they managed to win a game against Misfits when they get aced in bot lane at minute 5 or minute 6, and now in this game again here, they're getting aced in mid lane at minute 5, minute 6. There's a possibility they could still turn it around, but it's really hard.
And there's one thing that I will say. MagiFelix, notorious solo queue god, played every role, has climbed his way up. He was known for never giving up. I have heard many pro players tell me stories of games they wish MagiFelix had surrendered, but that man never gives up. The fact that he managed to get a backdoor last week is such an iconic moment for him. As Adam now going to step a little bit forward. Bwipo leaping in. The damage going to be blocked there initially by the Xin Zhao ultimate. Zanzara running for the hill as White Knight might be in trouble. Can block the first form of CC though, so it doesn't have to be too stared. Now Bwipo going to find that one. Can get the reset once he gets out of tower range. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, oh, it's a 2-for-1 special. LEC now going in. Promiscu the sidestep. No one's going to get stunned. He just can't land anything. Kaisa grabs a kill. FNATIC absolutely massacring Astralis across the map.
Yeah, Bwipo does end up falling in that, so it's a trade-off at least for Astralis, but almost 4,000 gold now. Pushing bot, pushing top. The only person who's relieved from this play is MagiFelix. Can finally push out mid.
I mean, I'm gonna be real, like, the only one with the kill on Astralis is Mundo, right? So that's their strong point. But then you look at the enemy team. We have Divine Sundero Viego, basically a tank killer. Cassiopeia, always been a tank killer. And then Set and Kai'Sa also has like % health damage in their kit. How's the tank gonna carry this?
Yeah, you're completely right. I mean, having the resource on the front line is not good when the enemy team has an anti-frontline comp. Maybe it's not something they specifically opted into in the draft, but it just works for lanes. But flash in mid, Niski.
Niski flash out. The Stolen Ultimate not going to work. Niski going to try to turn and burn. He's going to get the double stun, but it's not going to work on the Mundo. He still might be able to get one back onto MagiFelix. It's a 1-for-1, but Blippo, oh, he's ready to kill some tanks. I think you can see it. It's the Blade of the Rune King, but Business Mundo is not about this business.
Just melts through White Knight, and Astralis, props to them. You have to use your winning lane to translate it into mid. White Knight tried to do so, but in the end they lost fight in bot.
Clean headbutt back from Hylissang, finds a bit more space for Upset to work with. He's walking forward now, the invulnerability about to fade. That's the stun, no room for Jessica to maneuver, and again, FNATIC just absolutely massacring Astralis. Promisecue forced to back away as Blippo taking the form of Jessica.
Normally, Dracos, we have games where it's a kill a minute, but at this point, FNATIC have themselves more than a kill a minute.
Up until this game, the record for kills at 15 minutes was 5. It was held by Blippo. The new record is 6, also held by Blippo.
Might get some more here though, but it's past 10.
All right, going forward, it was for 15 by the way,
15.
so it's got a lot of time. It's 12-2, it's a massive gold lead. This is a massacre.
Yeah. I think MagiFelix mental definitely needs to come in here. They need to stay strong and weather the storm of FNATIC, but it's almost a 6,000 gold deficit in 10 minutes.
Ooh. 0-4-0 for Promisecue. Is that a slap in the face?
It's tough.
It's rough. It's really rough.
It is most certainly rough.
It's definitely rough. It all came from that level 3 all-in bot.
Yes.
Goes for the play, gets TP'd on behind, and then everything just kind of fell apart.
Well, yeah. And I think, gentlemen, the difficulty of casting a game like this is on the one hand, we have a funeral. Sadly, right now, that funeral's for Astralis. On the other side, we have a party. And the man leading that party is Blippo. But one big piece of that party, let's say the guy who brought the cake, is none other than Niski. This man has been having an incredible split. He was, I think he had an okay spring. He had some standout moments, but it wasn't the, maybe it wasn't the best split. But this season, he has been absolutely taking off on one of the most mechanically demanding champions, or at least in this game. Yeah, and I think if you think of Niski in seasons past, he's more of a supportive player, right? He plays things like Galio, TF, side laners if he needs to. We never really thought of him as a carry, but this split looks a whole lot different on things like the Sylas. Adam, though, is in a 1v2. Suplex back, has the Haymaker, could do good damage on his Zanzara, tries to sidestep on that one. Adam should get taken down here, but Adam's still rocking! Ooh, just barely healing up there. Triumph clutch for Zanzara.
Almost turned around and got the solo bolo boss.
Yeah, but I mean, they keep going on Adam, right? But it's so close every time. Yeah, and they end up getting it now.
Yeah, and then look at the other side of the map, right? Mid's pushed in, bots pushed in, you're losing resources across the map. So investing resource into White Knight makes sense because it's your only winning lane. But look at Jeskla, he's your carry. He can't even enter his own blue side jungle. And he can't even farm under his own bot tower. So yes, your tank's slightly ahead. He's a level up, he's 30 CS up, he's got a kill. He might get a few plates, but the tank shredders are getting fed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another dragon.
Oh, man. Again, the phrase that keeps coming to mind is insult to injury here. Double Dragon, 5K gold lead, 12 minutes into the game. Niski very strong. MagiFelix barely can step into lane here.
They're starting a Herald here, but I think FNATIC can be there in time to contest.
For Astralis, I guess they just got to fish for something, got to look for something as Blippo steps forward and might just take it as a leash here to try to grab the objective for himself. If he grabs it fast enough, he can grab a few tower plates and just further extend his gold lead in the early game.
It's a complete slaughter, really. But how do you come back from this?
Well, you're going to have to get a miracle. I think Astralis had one before with the backdoor, but I think there might be a 14-plate game here. There's only a minute left, but mid tower should fall. They have Herald for top if they want to use it. Hylissang's contesting red.
Hylissang one level behind Zanzara right now, rushing into the enemy jungle, and as predicted, Herald is going to crash mid lane, break down that last plate. MagiFelix is going to grab what he can here in terms of farm, but Whippo's already in the enemy jungle, taking camps away. Massive individual lead for him, even before you take into account the 6 kills.
Okay, Promiscue's hiding in the alcove, doing a little bit of alcove gaming, but his team is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, well, what is he going to do?
Let's cancel the recall now. Maybe he's calling his team to come. MagiFelix has TP to join.
It's only him and White Knight.
Yeah, it's only him and White Knight. Adam has flash and ult. He won't be spotted though. Maybe they can make a play here, but the rest of the members of FNATIC are quite close.
Stun coming out of the bush. The second he attaches to White Knight, he'll reveal himself. He's taking his time. It's the long con.
Yeah, I think you have to go for plays like
He's on
these,
a
right?
ward.
You have to make some kind of clutch play. They're gonna find Adam now.
Stun, gonna connect. Adam is gonna be in big trouble here. Can try to suplex Promise Q back. Now big stun, big follow-up damage. Promise Q maybe in trouble here. The dunk back down. Can he finish him off? Auto forward! Oh, ho, ho. Is that a solo bolo?
That is a solo bolo, isn't it?
Yep.
Follow-up now coming in. Whippo for a bit more, and Promise Q, I guess, fishing for something, looking for absolutely anything to find at this stage of the game, but there was just nothing there for him.
Dive top.
Sang now with the follow-up upset immediately onto the back line. Pretty easy for him to pick these ones up, but Kathy and Rain raining down hell. Niski going in. Magifelix quick use the Alistair ult. Maybe he can turn and get one back, but Whippo right back out, turns right back into Magifelix and makes it out to safety.
Oh,
Run,
man.
White Knight, run!
Oh, he's gonna get chased down. What's the play here?
Not the cannon minions.
Is he gonna die to me? He's gonna try and execute, I think. He's trying to wait and buy a little bit more time. We'll see.
Get
if he
out of
has-
there, man.
White Knight.
Ooh.
No.
I think he was around a second off there.
That's a bummer.
He was around a second off, and just going back in time a little bit, Adam getting that 1v2 and getting Promise Q. That's all good and dandy and getting that solo bolo, but he only got 140 gold for it. Promise Q is obviously not worth that much, but still worth it for Astralis. But then the dive comes in, and yeah, there's really not much to say. There's almost a 10,000 gold lead here at 15 minutes. Every single tower's fallen.
This is unbelievable.
It's a rough one.
I mean, yeah, it's a lipstick on a pig kind of angle. We got to
Sorry, what?
sugarcoat it. You never heard that? So
No.
no. Putting lipstick on a pig. In this case,
Dracos, what do you do in your free time?
no. Why? What do you want me to tell you? Dang, I don't come
Jungle
out.
fight?
There's no follow-up. Jungle fight indeed.
TP coming in. That's
Promise
Niski.
Q, invulnerable for
4v5.
2.5 seconds. Now he's just gonna get shredded.
Okay, well, how's Astralis getting out of this one then? Zanzara and Magifelix on the run.
Follow up. Zanzara, wind becomes lightning, and Zanzara
Is he gonna try to execute?
becomes dead, it would appear.
He's gonna get the execute.
They all...
Oh, man.
No.
All right, I figured out how this is the kind of game where we cheer for executes, which is definitely an indicator of how rough it is. And again, we showed the graphic once. Remember, Astralis had been in big deficits before. Now, admittedly, it was 4K at 15 minutes, not 10K, but
Yeah.
if they're going for the best comeback team in the LEC, I almost said the LCS.
Why did that come to Dracos?
What? Making a lot of slips today. right?
LCS, that's later.
We'll see.
Niski fighting
with
in
the
bot.
follow-up. Flash forward for Magifelix. Niski now trying to go for the sidestep. His mechanics are clean, but potentially not clean enough. Adam trying to find somebody that he can suplex in the midst of the team. He's going to now knock him back. Adam with a big haymaker. Upset now on the way in. Magifelix and White Knight running for the hills. And ooh, those Tank Shredder champions having some clean performances here. Red buff coming in. Magifelix wants to leap over the wall, but that's a double for Upset.
What can you say, really? FNATIC's first to every play with numbers advantage, with insane gold leads, with tank shredding damage. Jeskla doesn't even have a mythic item at this point, and Upset almost has like 3 at this when he bases.
Jeskla, top turret. He gonna Krugs twice, bunch of waves. Look at this recall. He's gonna have 3 items. I'm calling
Okay,
it.
you're calling it already?
Yeah, Jeskla is the carry.
Well, we'll see after this replay, because Niski does get a little bit cocky, we'll say. Over pushing in bot, but he has TP, he has Upset around. In the end, it's a 3v1, and they do get the shutdown onto him. 700 gold going on to Magifelix, but then everyone else on Astralis dies. And as you can see in the bottom left of your screen, the dragon actually died. So 3 dragons for FNATIC right now. Huge gold lead. Upset using the ultimate smart here to gap close onto Magifelix because he had to stack onto White Knight, and then it just means that he can finish him off. 3 dragons for FNATIC, and it's going to be 4 minutes, 40 seconds until the soul, but Baron's up in 2, and I think that Baron is pretty much one-shot.
Certainly should be with this amount of percentage health shred. It was mostly really good against the Mundo, but now it's going to look pretty good against everything when you have this big of a lead. 2 items already for Niski, 2.5 items there for Upset, so has the Q evolve, and life is hard for a poor boy like Jeskla. The rest of the team, they got a lot of defensive tools. He is going to be a man all on his own in these fights trying to survive.
He is indeed, and we'll see what happens. I mean, FNATIC's just going to put vision towards the top side, push in every lane. Astralis have to look for a miracle play, so I think what you'll see Astralis do, and the only thing they can do is just kind of group up, put numbers into one lane, like they did onto Niski, commit 4 numbers into mid, 4 numbers into top, try to make a pick, and then salvage the fight with just pure numbers advantage, because you can't beat it. You can't beat FNATIC with just firepower in a sense, so getting a bit desperate here. Niski has no TP.
Taric ult can be a game changer, you know. If you get a big one, Upset ults in, goes for the kill, and then the Taric ult comes in. That could be a game changer, you know.
Could be. We'll see how well Promise Q times it.
Yeah, definitely a lot of pressure on him to kind of turn around what has been a difficult early game. Of course, first few deaths, maybe he can look back on after that. It's such a deficit that you can't blame him for trying for some of these more aggressive plays. That said, when they go wrong, it puts you further in the hole. Again, about 20 minutes into the game, 10K gold difference, 3 Drakes. We are minutes away from Seoul. This does feel pretty much done and dusted, but maybe, just maybe, it's a Taric ultimate play. Maybe some kind of turnaround here, but even with the Taric ultimate, 2.5 seconds might not be enough time for Astralis to take a fight.
If this was a solo queue game, Muddy Felix presses no, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah.
Is that, as people who have played in that environment, probably with him, is this a characteristic you appreciate of his, or is this something where you guys would be frustrated?
I respect it. Obviously, we'll talk about solo queue game context, obviously, because in competitive, always keep playing. In a solo queue context, yeah, this game would look pretty done. But I think having a positive mentality is very good. And then that's why he's such a successful solo queue player. And he's always top 10.
Everyone respects him.
Everyone respects him solo queue. Yeah, he had, I think, 5 or 6 accounts in the top 10 of solo queue. That just shows how much he grinds. And yeah, every game is winnable. It's not over till the Nexus explodes, Dracos, okay?
All right.
Okay.
All right, let's see what Astralis can do with that. That mentality. I don't know if it's going to outweigh $10,000, but
Small loan.
it's something. But again, Baron going to be the big objective that we keep our eyes on. Normally, 20 minutes would be a bit hard to pressure, but with a Viego, with a Set, a Casio, who is one of the OG Baron shredders, Kaisa as well, FNATIC are basically just built as a team to murder the big purple worm.
Yeah, I think all you'll see here is now that Niski's base, he's got his 3 items. Upset's probably clearing out Gromp and Wolves to get the gold for his 3rd item, heal base, and then I think FNATIC are just going to start forcing in the end. Both tier 2s are down, top and mid, which means you can push waves into tier 3. Upset probably basing now to collect his 3rd item, and then they're just going to probably set up on this Baron and just start it. I mean, Astralis is going to have to be forced to walk into them when they do. FNATIC will turn, and Astralis need to pray. Good Taric ult, maybe some kind of mistake from FNATIC. There's a world where they'll kill 1 person. Not sure about 5.
So you saw the Niski build, right? You've got to buy boots. Is that something you would recommend, K-Roll?
Okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't
Twitch
sure.
chat loves it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how we were going to fit the boss into the cast, but it appears that baiting K-Roll is the #1 strategy.
Should have bought boots. Huh?
Hey, look. You got to get faster to these plays sometimes.
Flash promiscuous.
Wait, Zanzara, if he gets spotted out, did Bwipo see him? I think he did.
Now going to step forward. Zanzara trying to do the best he can. The knockup now coming through. Maybe that's the follow. Bwipo flashing out to safety there. Now going to try to turn, but they're going to be empowered by the Taric. That's 5 members standing in the midst of Hylissang, but Hylissang also very tanky. Astralis, it looked so good to start, but they cannot find a kill.
Oh, Upset.
Upset might be able to, though. He's sleeping in, he's sleeping out. That's the ulti from Zanzar. The rest of the team now buying space. Hylissang going over the wall. It's an absolute fiesta in the jungle, but Magic Felix holding his ground.
Okay, Astralis. No one dies in the end, but a lot of summoners and ultimates used. No one's too chunked out. Zanzara did heal up on the jungle camp, so they're not going to have to be forced to base, which means FNATIC can't force the Baron. But 20 seconds on the Ocean Dragon. That's the Ocean Soul for FNATIC. I think Astralis know they can't contest this. Maybe they just want to go for Baron. Just 5 minutes and flip it. Sometimes you just got to do it.
That's going to be a disaster.
You have to do it.
No.
I think they have to. If you lose this Dragon, it's over. You have to get a Baron, but FNATIC's just going to walk in. Oh no, Astralis, this is going to backfire so hard.
Promiscu, the stun not enough. He wants the ulti too, but he doesn't have time to get the cooldowns up. Magic Felix needs to back away, but it's the dunk back down to the backside. Adam coming in big, massive haymaker across 4 members of the team. Now Bwipo coming in, stolen Taric, gonna leap in, gonna step forward on his Zanzara. 1 member going down, just Promiscu. The rest of Astralis is going to be able to escape, but with those blinking health bars, it means FNATIC get key access to the major objective here.
Yeah, White Knight no TP, Magic Felix was chased away and he's going to TP back himself though. It's a 4v5. Zanzara has Smite. If he can land W on the Baron, he should be able to E it. There's the W. Now FNATIC have to wait out the E. There's the ground as well. I think he can't get in the pit now unless he wards over and E's onto Hylissang, but Hylissang can knock him away.
Goes Zanzara! Not able to take it. Hylissang.
That was close.
Finding the kill right as Bwipo is going to secure the Baron. FNATIC.
Baron and Soul.
Baron and Soul. And it all comes off this fight. Adam, I mean, regardless of them being so far ahead, great engage, you have to say. We're zooming on Hylissang, just clearing out the ping.
What are you doing, man?
He knows the fight's won. He's just getting his vision score up. Respect. Respect. It looked a little bit shaky in the Baron pit, I have to say. It looked like Hylissang wanted to Hex Flash over, but by the time he did, Zanzara was already E'ing through the pit, so There was a slight split second there where maybe Zanzura could have stole it, but the Baron wasn't low enough.
But look at the vision score. Number 1, Hylissang.
Wait, upset number
tied.
Does upset have zombie ward? I wonder, because zombie ward boosts your vision score so high.
I mean, it's possible.
I think that might be the reason.
I mean, we talked to Upset. He does really love stats. So if anyone was going to abuse a keystone for stats.
Yeah, but you know, Taste of Blood is quite a nice rune in lane. But we'll see. Anyway.
We'll find out. We'll keep you updated on the rune
He does
choices.
have zombie ward. I just told in my ear. There we go. So that's how he keeps up with Hylissang.
Do we have any stats? Highest amount of deaths in LEC?
Marcus, the boss would like a stat, please, when you have a moment.
Oh.
Highest deaths in the LEC this
I meant
season.
eyeball collection when I was talking about that.
Oh, you meant
anyway,
eyeball collection.
I didn't mean Taste of Blood. Yeah, of
Hylissang.
course. So zombie ward for
Coming over
the vision score.
Hylissang fishing for a big engage. White Knight going to interrupt him. Promised you in the midst of the entire team, but he's going golden. He's holding on this time. Magic Felix can try and turn. Magic Felix can try to turn. He fires back. It's a 3-man ulti. Maybe, just maybe, Zanzura in the midst of the entire team. Now unstoppable. Pupa goes down. My God, ASTRALIS. Have they found the fight? Upset still untouched on the backside. There's no way they can come out on top, but Jeskla also still standing. Upset going in. It's a mad play, but it just might work. Upset going in with the triple. Blood in the water, and he makes it work.
I think they're just going to be able to end in 30 seconds on ASTRALIS. They have their Baron buff 25 minutes in. Upset just ults into the backline. They had nothing left. It was a nice try by ASTRALIS to turn the game around. Magic Felix 3-man stun. Zanzura knocked away key members to make sure ASTRALIS could single out a target. Hylissang engaged a little bit too early, but Upset was there and ready with the killer instinct, and I think that's going to be it. FNATIC closing out the game in just over 25 minutes.
FNATIC looking real clean right now.
Absolutely are. That's the biggest gold lead I've seen in a long time. A very fast, very controlled, very confident game coming in from the side of FNATIC. Now, I'll be honest, in those last few moments before Upset ulted into the backline and killed 3 people, it looked really good for ASTRALIS.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, again, maybe there was a chance that there was a miracle, but FNATIC still had a lot left in the tank, still had a 3